Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to Inner Space Family, and a very warm welcome to our online viewers. How was everyone's day today? Okay, yeah, weather's getting better, so everyone's having a in a good mood. Yeah, today's topic is very interesting. Topic is happiness suits you, and for that, for speaker, we have a Shantanu Mandal with us. He is a spiritual environmentalist, and also he's got a background in fashion and fine arts, and he also doing a lot of activities like youth and well-being. So he's over to Shantanu. Please welcome. Thank you.
That's a good check. So, greetings of peace and most welcome. And thank you so much for joining. And I think I am very privileged to be able to traveling in times when it was difficult. And when I got this opportunity to come and meet with you all here, I was interested in the topic more. And it said happiness suits you. And it's a nice topic to even start reflecting why it suits me. And the question comes, why not? What's not there for in me that happiness shouldn't suit me? And I was just churning on this topic, and few things came in my mind which I would love to share in time. But before that, I know the online viewers cannot probably respond, but you can respond. So just to know your name and where you come from, starting with you. Okay, thank you so much, Paddy. Okay, so you're very close here. Good. And so before we start into this topic, it won't be a talk, it's more like a discussion and understanding from each other's experiences. Let's go into a little experience. So I would welcome you to just sit very relaxed. Take a deep breath, even those who are at your home or office watching or listening this. Take a deep breath. Keep aside all your stuffs. Mobile, pen, copy, whatever it is. They'll all be there when you come out of this reflection. But also keep aside the agendas, the topics, the thoughts, and open the folders of your life and with your own choice, open a folder that reads happiness. In that folder, you have many files. With your choice, you can see the thumbnails of those files, but pick one special memory. All of them are very special. There's no comparison. All of those were powerful. Doesn't matter how long they were, how short they were moments of happiness. So now just choose any one thumbnail and double click it. Experience it again. The movement, the moment, the people, the conversation, the activities. and absorb the energy that you just felt by remembering it. And now we come back out of this reflection. So, which was the memory that came out or you picked? Anything that you would like to share?
And he was doing a show somewhere else, and we were both lying in bed. He was looking at his script. I was looking at my script. I was doing 3 plays over there. Had a big hot chocolate that I was drinking, so I was very much in love with somebody. I was doing wonderful acting roles, and we were both learning our independent scripts with big hot chocolates, and I had just given up alcohol. And it was a very, very, very... And I was still smoking, which I'm not smoking now. I miss my cigarettes. So actually, the whole thing was just a very, very happy experience. One of the happiest ever for me, actually.
Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. And you are very good at narrating it, so we could even see it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What about you? Would you like to share?
I mean, my experience was about 21 years back when I was 13. That was the first one I came to the center. And when I did the meditation course, the first time I did the meditation when I was 13, I think that was my happiest moment, because the feeling and the experience I got through meditation for the first time is when I felt truly happy. Because I think about other experiences in life, but that other experience in life was dependent on something. Here, it wasn't dependent on nothing. It was independent of external factors. And I still sometimes wonder whether I can have that same type of happiness that I had at that moment. And to get that feeling, I think, even now, I do try to experience it, but it's not the same.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing. I think the idea, I mean, for those who are watching it, you must have also seen a memory and enjoyed it, seeing it again. But it's interesting, out of so many files in that folder, why only this one was the one which the intellect picks? You could have picked so many other files, but why this? And a very lame answer would be, just because it was easy to pick. But a very practical answer is that nothing is that simple. Everything has a reason. Everything has a solid background behind. Nothing is coincident in this world. Everything happens because of the dynamics of energy around it. So what is that led me to choose a particular moment, a particular piece of experience from my all experiences? All of them belongs to me. But there is one certain experience that I was drawn more to. So this is a kind of a symbolic message which says that there are certain things in that memory that represents my present state as well. It's like when you're watching television and you click a certain channel frequency and that channel comes in. So that channel has an XYZ frequency, and the button you clicked also had that XYZ frequency, and because they matched, you enjoyed that channel. Similarly, you had many memories, and the present state of mind, which I am having right now, when I clicked it, it attracted the frequency of one particular memory. So it gives me many things to reflect upon. It lets me to reflect on my present state. It also gives me an opportunity to reflect on the needs of my present time, but also gives me a resource to fulfill those needs from. So many things can come up. But when we were looking into these three basic questions, what, why, and for, for what reason, you know? So the answer is that one is to identify my need, and second is to identify the source from which that need could be fulfilled, and the third is to sustain that, to make it very natural. Like how you were sharing that, you know, that experience of meditation that you had in the beginning, you would like to have it again. It's a very good thought, but maybe you might have a better experience, or not that so nice experience, but because the mind is so focused on having that particular experience, you are not probably letting yourself to experience something that could be even greater. So it's not that it didn't happen to you, it already has happened. So that memory is already there. So going back to it is good enough. But going forward with the memory of that is something probably is the time for you to look into. That, okay, I enjoyed it that time and it is still there in my memories, but why I am expecting so much for the old thing to happen that new things are not getting the chance or the kind of welcome they should get. So sometimes it is good to just let things open and see how they emerge. And when you were sharing your experiences, when I was doing this exercise with you, a very interesting memory came into me. I mean, it was so many, and I don't know why I picked that one. But then after listening to when you were saying and when I was sharing, I realized I picked it because it was like an instant happiness. It wasn't like a long work or a long process and then a result. It was quite instant. And the incident happened very recently. I was in Nairobi and I was on a safari, and we were going, and somebody said that, you know, if you are very lucky, you would see lions. I said, see, if the lions show up, I'm lucky. If they don't show up, I'm still lucky. It's not their day that they didn't see me. So I was just making joke, and we just entered the safari, and maybe 2 minutes that we have gone into, and two big lions were just walking in front of our car. And the person who was taking us on that safari, he's a guide for 18 years. And he said, you know what? This is the track that's good for rhinos, but not for lions. And lion is in my charts at 8 a.m. They shouldn't come here now. Why are they here now? And nobody was there. So it was just us. And he kept on saying, Kaka in Swahili means brother. He said, Kaka, you're very lucky. Kaka, you're very lucky. I said, yeah, I know that. We were going. And then he went, and there was a walkie-talkie, and he was getting informations, where is what, you can take a turn and things like that. And he said, oh, I just got an information, there's a cheetah there. Would you like to see that? I said, yes, let's go. And when we went there were like hundreds of cars waiting for the cheetah to come out or give a little glimpse. And I was like, do I really want this to happen at this sake of cheetah's comfort? Because he might be resting, you know. He would not like to be a show-off on that particular moment. And then I said, why all these people are waiting? They're waiting for a glimpse of cheetah, which will make them very happy. And that was a moment for me to ask myself, with the cheetah, without the cheetah, can I be happy? And that particular moment. And can I say, oh, I went for a safari, it was 100% good. Even if I didn't see this, it was good. Or did I was already carrying an ambitious list to tick off, which didn't get tick off, and I said, no, my happiness was not good enough. And so I said, maybe it's time to let go and see how I feel. And the irony was, when I said, no, we don't want to wait for the cheetah, let's go, let him rest. And the cheetah just stood up. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And he just stood up and everybody was like, oh, and that noise, he just again went into the grasses. And I said, when you let the balloon off, when it starts flying, you watch it fly and you feel that happiness of freedom. And that very moment, I kind of connected with that spirit of cheetah and said that I understand you want your privacy, and I understand you want your rest, and people are probably disturbing you. And I totally understand how you feel because it happens to us also. But do you know what? They are here to appreciate your beauty. They are here to appreciate your valor and your beauty. So how about just standing again and take a trip around the tree, and that would be just good for these guys. They'll leave you and then you can rest for the whole of the day. I was just constantly visualizing this image. And maybe 10 more minutes and the cheetah stands and he exactly takes the same kind of round which I was picturing in my mind. It's not the other way around or something. And then he sits and you could see its tail wagging. And I told the driver that it's over, let's go. He said, no, he might stand up again. I said, no, I asked only that much and he has given me that much. Let's go. And he said, I have never seen a cheetah twice a day. Little glimpses, just good. This story emerged when we were doing this incident, and it realized, and I got to understand that when we are too oriented for a result, we kind of miss the process. I enjoyed the process of sending a message to that creature without expecting that it should do something like that, as I was saying. When it did, I was overjoyed. Even if it didn't had been like that, I would have still understood that I have sent a message and I have created a communication. So my idea here is, can I create a picture to communicate my happiness? And can I create that picture to people around me? Can I create that picture to my future self? Can I create that picture with people around me, to people with whom I have had an experience in the past, and send them these pictures of happy moments, some visualizations? And if we have this practice of, projecting a happy memory, which might not yet has happened, but if I'm projecting a very happy scene to these intellectuals, they might receive that energy. They might not respond exactly how I'm picturing, but they would keep receiving that energy. It's like when you see a little baby, it does some things which we don't really understand why it is doing, but it makes us smile. We are happy looking at it, even though we don't understand it. And why so? Because there is the energy of freedom into it. That energy of freedom which doesn't bind us with anything. So happiness is about experiencing that freedom. When this being, when the spirit is really free, they feel very happy. Happiness is quite connected to freedom of spirit. And so when the spirit gets that energy of lightness, that freedom, it starts experiencing a kind of good energy which makes the lips go wider and the heart starts beating better, health becomes good. All this physiological thing starts happening. But all necessarily bottom down is the good energy of lightness and freedom. So happiness does three very interesting things to us, which I would say is the purpose of happiness. Happiness strengthens us. It provides us strength. In Hindi, in India, we use a term called khushi jaisi khurak nahi. So khushi means happiness, khurak means nourishment. So there's no better nourishment than happiness. Sometimes when people are very happy, they forget that they have to eat also. And sometimes when they are very happy, you even give them any kind of food which is burned, not good, more salt, whatever, they won't mind, they'll just eat it. Why? Because the spirit is experiencing high energy and it's not really attached with the experiences that matter has to provide. It is recharging itself with its own high energy. So happiness strengthens the spirit, first of all. And by strengthening, it means if I'm not eating the right amount of food, if I'm not eating for the right time, if I'm not eating the right number of times, and if I'm not eating the right quality, the body would experience sickness, illness, and it starts going down, 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 and very down. It's the same with the spirit, same with the consciousness. That if the consciousness is not picking up the right food, the right information, the right kind of wisdom, then it starts feeling sick. And the right kind of information or wisdom is the information that brings that lightness back, that information that liberates. For example, I'm in this room which is closed, dark, and I don't know where the light switch is or something. And maybe someone gives me a call and says, go to your right, turn to your left, do this, and there is this button, switch it on. So when I'm getting an information which is liberating me, I feel relaxed. I feel calm and composed. And this feeling of liberation is a very subtle flavor of happiness. The second flavor of happiness is the joy that we get when we achieve something, or when there is a good news, or when there are surprises. So we have that, like the cherry on the top of the cake. It's not subtle, it's quite loud. And sometimes we remember these loud moments very easily, but the subtle ones, the subtle flavors are something that we miss out. So for a healthy body, you need to have all types of nutrients. Similarly, for a healthy being or a mind, you need to have all types of happiness. The subtle taste, the loud taste, the big joyful moments, the very simple smiling moments. So all kind of happiness is very important. The second aspect of happiness which is very important is that it secures us. Happiness acts as an immunity booster. There was an experiment where people were asked to stand by the wall and do standing squats. And it is difficult to do standing squats because it becomes painful, and when you are just by the side of the walls. And then the researchers showed them some very funny videos of little children making fun or saying something, some kind of funny videos. And then they asked them to do the squats again. And they found it was 80% more, that they could spend more time, which means happiness enhances our capacity to endure pain, our capacity to become resilient towards strong and very difficult moments, because happiness directly increases endorphins. And so happiness increases our immunity. It secures us from many, many, many materialistically wrong situations, but also subtle situations. If I am happy, and if I understand that my happiness is my shield, what I'll do is I'll try to keep my shield on. I would not let it go. And by shielding with the power of happiness, I don't become rude to others. There are many ways to shield us from negatives. Sometimes we just cut off. Sometimes we just react. Sometimes we take some other kind of resort. But if I am shielding myself with happiness, with my own goodness, with my own smile, what I'm doing is I'm protecting myself, but I'm also not harming others. So happiness acts as a very beautiful and powerful shield. And the third thing which happiness really does is to serve the society. Being happy is the best way to serve humanity. There are many ways to serve the society, You can donate clothes, food, you can donate education, you can donate skills, you can spend time with people in need. But imagine I am there to support a group and I'm not happy and I'm trying to support that group. What I'm doing is that group has, let's say, the energy of need. And let's say the energy of need is minus, okay, like negative energy. And when I am there and I'm not happy, what I just did was in a group of 10, with 10 minus, I just added another minus. But if I am there with my plus, what happened? At least 1% happiness was there. And it took off the load of negativity which was there. If I sustain my happiness, what I am doing is I am actually supporting that group with my energy. I'm supporting them with my good energy. And this is like service to them. So if I'm not able to do quite a lot in terms of serving the society, just holding on to my happiness, just taking care of my happiness, I am serving entire world. A world with one more happy person is a better world than a world with one less happy person. Do you believe this? Yeah.
No, I agree with everything that you're saying completely. But the only thing I would say is one of the jobs that I do, I haven't been genuinely just that genuine happy feeling. I know what you're saying, but to really feel it, honestly, I haven't for a couple of years because my mum got ill a couple of years ago, and watching her sort of slowly disintegrate has been really difficult. And also with her work. And so I feel, thank you, I feel that like the two most important things in my life, my mother and my work, are both leaving me. But I read to stroke patients, and I also serve lunch to the homeless on a volunteer basis. And I bring tremendous joy to those people, tremendous joy. But I'm not happy. I'm happy in the moment when I'm with them, but I kind of can leave my happiness, that's out there. When I'm with these people, I'm there for another reason. And therefore, I know that I'm bringing happiness and joy. It's as if I can leave my negativity outside and I just pick it up again as soon as I've left them, because it has been a difficult time and I've been struggling to find that genuine happiness. But though coming here makes me happy as well. I wish there were more people.
You will very soon.
Yeah, but
yeah.
But do you know what I mean? I feel
Yeah,
that I can bring happiness to other people, even if I'm completely miserable when I arrive at that place. Somehow, it's not about me anymore.
Yeah.
It's about them. And
so that is what is the aspect of happiness. I was saying that happiness serves. Happiness is the strength to serve. However, to let that happen sustainably, it needs to start empowering the being that is doing it. For example, I am able to bring happiness to you because I have this pure intention that goodness should happen to you. And with that powerful intention, when I come, happiness comes to you. But what happens is, I am doing this and there's a change that I can see. But I am so busy doing that, I need to take a break and check if I can bring happiness to these people, what is not letting me to bring that same experience to me? When I am so close to myself, they are still a different person and I'm still able to bring an experience to them. What is stopping me from experiencing that for myself and sustain it? And the answers are very simple, you know. Sometimes what happens is we create bigger pictures, louder words than exactly the situation is. And so the idea would be to silence the mind and check, like how we checked a folder, right? So to silence the mind and check for the reason why the happiness is not sustained. And there is a work in it. It is not going to happen instantly, but it's also not impossible. It would definitely be possible to sustain it. As you said that, you're not able to connect to that sustainability of happiness, the genuineness. You have to make an effort, but it is an effort. Many people say that happiness doesn't come for free. You have to work for it, which means what? It means happiness is not there that you achieve. It's a choice that I always make. Happiness is a daily decision that I have to make. There were two people in the same situation, and that situation is grey clouds of England and no sunshine for many, many months. And then sun comes for few seconds, and one of the person says, oh, look, there's a sun. And the other one says, so what, it'll go. So the situation was same for both of them. But the one chose to stay at the happy side, chose happiness, and so could take that energy from it and sustain its spirit. The other also saw that moment, but didn't choose happiness. So every time I'm feeling something, whether I'm feeling good, not so good, bad, very bad, it is an indication that certain choices are not going the way it should be. So every experience that I'm experiencing is my choice. I am choosing. For example, I have two friends. One friend said, bye, I'm going. The other friend says, bye, I'm going. For one friend, I might think, oh, yes, you can go. And another friend, I'm saying, why you are going? So it's a choice that I am choosing to create an experience with those two variables. So the idea would be that in case if I'm not feeling a genuine moment of happiness that is prolonged, let me take a moment of silence, still myself, and ask myself the question, what did I choose that made me feel like this instead of what I should have chosen? And the moment is gone, so you cannot change it, but the moment would come again where I have to make those choices. So when I am conscious of the choices that I am making, then I am able to monitor my happiness. And by monitoring, I mean to sustain it, to nurture it, to grow it. It's not like I will just be waiting for little drops of happiness to happen to me. No. First few moments might be like that, but then if I start collecting that water, few drops, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grow my capacity to be happy. Sometimes people say, oh, I am so happy, I don't know how long it is going to last. So what I actually did was, I was happy, but I chose not to increase my happiness, but I chose a thought which might scare me. It was again a choice. And the choices have become so powerful over our conscious thinking that sometimes we make choices and we don't even realize that we have chosen that. And so what happens is this necessary pause, this necessary detachment, or this necessary disengagement gives us the space to place ourselves in a position where we can see the situation and choose the most right thing. It's like saying, I'm not so good, and saying, I'm having this thought that I'm not so good. So when I say I'm not so good, what I just did was I labeled myself that I'm not good. But when I say I am having this thought that I am not so good, I actually disengaged myself from this feeling, bad feeling, and created a distance enough for me to look at it and take a choice here. I am having this thought that I'm not so good. What thought can I create now to transform it? So similarly, when I can see that my happiness is in this kind of state and it's not growing, what is that I'm choosing? It's not letting it grow. It is a checking that one has to do. And it's also about the perspective that we see few things in. So there's a very beautiful story where a father wanted to teach his son a lesson that, how to appreciate the things that you have got in life. And the father had a very good intention. So he takes the son to a very, very slum area where the son could see many, many bad things. And he watches it, and the father says, "Look, son, how the poor people live." And he said, yeah, I saw. And he said, "So what did you learn?" He said, "I'm so thankful you took me there. I realized how happy they are." I said, "What?" He said, "Yes, I mean, look at them. We just have one dog. They have got so many dogs in their streets. And all of them listen to them. I just have one. And I mean, we have one patch of green grass in our garden, but they have that big hill. The children were playing there so freely. And I mean, we do have chandeliers and nice bulbs, but they don't have those bulbs. But at night, they could see the sky and see so many stars." And the father started understanding that I took him to learn something, but I was the one who had to learn. And what was it? To see where I am standing. Because it is the choice of the position that makes us see things the way they are. Things are not like that. You change the position, you might see a different angle.
Can I just ask you then,
Yeah.
when I go over with my mum, I spend every weekend with her the whole time, and I see her so vulnerable and just kind of shrinking and she's as bright as a button. I mean, extraordinary brain, and so flat and so sad, and there's nothing that I can do. I've tried everything. How do I how do I make myself happy in that situation? How do I not let that affect me? I mean, I'd love to be given a tip on that, because I am heartbroken for, it takes me 2 or 3 days sometimes just to recover, because I feel so sad for her. And then it's time for me to go back again. So what do I do in that situation?
I think the best answer would come when you connect with a source, and that source would send you an answer. What I could suggest from my experience would be to ask a question to the self. In such a situation, to ask a question, what is my intention here? What do I want to do? Would I like to heal her in some way possible, or would I like to just increase the energy of unhealingness around her? And the answer would come, I would like to support any way possible to heal her, right? Then ask again to yourself, in this present situation, am I able to heal or kind of support, provide any kind of support? And the answer would come, maybe not, because I feel myself to be very fragile at this moment. Then asking again the self, then what do I do? And that is the answer which I gave first, is to first increase my capacity to see things the way they are, accept them, and then work on it. What happens, we straight away want to change things without first accepting things. So acceptance brings a lot of capacity in the soul to deliver. And acceptance of this fact that this is a state, it's a natural state. Aging with illness, and this kind of vulnerability of human body is a part of life. And it is happening to someone that I love. Let me just first accept it. Without accepting, I won't be able to work on it. I'll be always trying to say, this shouldn't happen. I'll be fighting it. And that constant war will keep on draining an amount of good energy that I went with. And the good energy was supposed to be given to this person, but I actually used it to support myself. So the idea would be here to ask these questions and then connect with that force, whom you can give any name. You can call him the supreme, the divine, whatever name you give, but that beautiful, powerful, healing energy, connect with it, empower myself, and then I go into that action. So when I go with that kind of attitude where I have empowered myself, I've increased my capacity, what will happen is the situation might not change drastically, but my ability to serve this particular situation would increase. And that is what is more important. The importance is my ability to be there, support the person in their journey, and keep supporting them as long as they need that support. If my aim is to do something which is transformative, probably that is not what they want to do. Probably they want to just deal with their pain, their suffering, the way they want. What I can only give them is my support of my understanding, my ability. And when I reach there with my full capacity, what will happen is they will start seeing a change in me who is there to support them. They'll be more relaxed. Because the energy that I'm sharing right now here is that I can't see in this manner. And that energy is touching that spirit, and they're also feeling the same. Because it's very reflective. The human energy is very reflective. When I smile, you will smile. Similarly, when I am not carrying a very good energy, it would reach you. You would see this happening sometimes. Maybe you are traveling in the bus or car, and you feel like somebody is looking at you. And when you try to see, you just see, oh, this person is looking at you. And then this person looks somewhere, and you also look somewhere. And then you think, is he still looking at me? And then you see, yes, they are looking. So they didn't come and tap you. They were just looking. And just by looking, what they were doing was they were sharing energy. It could be good energy, bad energy, whatever, but they were sharing energy. And when it connected with the antenna, you understood and you started making that connection. So similarly, like that television channel, when I am in a frequency of, oh, no, the soul there is also getting that frequency, oh, no, maybe because of me, that person is also not happy. But if I go there with this energy, it's okay. Whatever is your situation, I am there with you until the very last. I am here to support you. I don't need anything from you. I am here to provide you that support. I don't want anything, even this expectation that if you change a little bit, I'll be more happy. Like for example, this happens with cases of sickness more, when we expect people to recover because we feel good for them. But feeling good changes into expectation sometimes. And if they are not changing, if the situation is not changing, we start sulking down. But the whole idea was to support them. So to be able to do that, I have to first detach, saying that this is a situation I need to accept. Second, I need to empower. And third, I need to be there just to give support and not to demand anything back. Very recently, I lost a friend who was a very renowned psychiatrist, and the cancer relapsed for him. And so someone said that, you said, he used to say something which was very renowned within our circles, and something that he used to say was, miracles are there. They just happen. And so people started saying, what miracle is going to happen with you? Why are you taking so long to recover? And he said something which was very powerful. He said, I am someone who doesn't need miracles. I am the one who creates them. And that was so powerful. And then when he passed on, we said, you said about miracles, what happened? Because I was expecting a miracle which I claimed to be miracle. I was expecting something as happiness, which I felt this is the definition of happiness. This is the definition of miracle. Whereas the definition was, it is your definition of happiness, your definition of miracle. For me, it is this. I would prefer, coming out of this kind of experience and be more liberated. So it was the box that I was inside. So sometimes it is more brave for us to accept a situation, empower ourselves, and then jump into that situation to deal with it. So my answer or my suggestion would be to let go of any kind of expectation. First to ask, do I have an expectation in this situation? Because if I have an expectation in that situation, I would not be able to be there with my 100%, because my 100% is my 100% without anything asking or demanding from the other one. So asking that necessary questions gives me the right amount of space to delve into or look for the right answers. I have always found out that when we ask long, difficult questions, the answers come very late. And when we ask questions which are very simple, answers are very simple, very easy. And for me, the process has been always self-questioning, not self-doubt, but self-questioning. Self-questioning means, what did I do here? Why I am feeling like this? Why I am feeling like this? It's not like why I shouldn't be feeling like this. It's not about I shouldn't be. Accepting, yes, I'm feeling this, but why? So when I ask this crucial, critical, and very simple question and silent my mind, asking a question again and again won't work. Just ask the question and silent. So it's like asking the question is triggering and then letting the water still. And when the water is still, you'll be able to see what is there down there. So when I ask this question, why this feeling, and let it go, after a certain point of time, the stillness would bring me an answer. It might be not the answer that I was expecting, but that stillness is that answer. So I might be expecting an answer, but I should be brave and courageous enough to accept an answer that emerges and work on that. So in situations when I see that my happiness is not sustained, or my happiness is short-lived, or my happiness is not enough, I have to ask myself the question, why so? And there would always come an answer. Sometimes the answers might just be right there. Sometimes it might take some time, but the answers are definitely there. And what spirituality does to us is, when we are on any kind of spiritual path, any form of spiritual path, it gives us that necessary space to discover. We are okay to give time to discover. In the world of everything instant, we send a message on WhatsApp and we keep waiting when there's a double tick, when there's a blue tick. And if there is a blue tick, why there's no reply yet? So we are constantly creating an attitude of this, fast. Just in a snap of fingers it should happen. But it's not like that. When I start on a journey of spiritual empowerment, the first few lessons teaches me, it is there only for you, just keep walking. Don't rush, don't run, just keep walking. Because walking is the sustainable way of moving. You cannot keep running. Can the best athlete in the world run 24/7? No. They need rest. The one who must have won hundreds of Olympic medals, if you tell them how fast and how long can you keep running, what will they say? Sometimes. But if you say, can you walk longer? They'll say, of course. And why? Because walking is natural. So there is no need to rush. There's no need to excite, but to just be on the path and keep walking. And that walking should be just followed with that light. Just keep following that light. There would be nice scenes here and there. There would be pitches, there would be dumps, there would be bumps. But the idea is to keep moving ahead. With those momentary experiences, they are lessons, but then we keep moving ahead. So the first thing is to ask the right question. If I'm not happy, then why? And if I'm happy, also then why? Because we generally are very good at asking questions when things don't go the way we wanted or not pleasant. But what when things went right? Why didn't we ask the question then? Why we should ask a question when things go right? Because the answers would help me to carry those answers for my next experiences. For example, you sat for meditation and you tried and it didn't work out well today. Ask yourself why it didn't work out. You'll get an answer something, just carry that answer. Next time when you sit for meditation, tell yourself, last time I sat and I felt asleep. This time I have to make sure that I don't fall asleep. So that answer of the why will support you this time to not fall asleep. You might have a different experience. If you sat for a meditation and you had a very good experience, ask yourself, wow, today's meditation was very good, like yours. Just ask yourself, why was that so good? And when you get that answer, it was good maybe because of this, that. Acknowledging our experiences, naming our experiences, helps us to recognize them again or kind of define them for ourselves. So if I know this was the reason why I felt very good today, I would be more into the practice of doing those actions, creating those thoughts that might bring me closer to those kind of experiences again. So it is first is the questioning, the exercise of questioning. The second is the consciousness with which I make my choices, making the right choices. Every time there is a situation, I have the power to choose. If there's a gray sky, I have a power to choose that today it's gray. It's okay, for 1 month it was gray, but it is a day when the sun is going to come. And even if it is gray, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm able to walk, I'm able to work, I'm able to be with my people that I'm friends with. There's so many things to be. So what do I choose is the place where I put my prism and let all my energy focus. So the second aspect is choices. And the third aspect is to empower the self constantly be on a journey where all that I do, all that I intake should just increase my energy. Whether it is through books or things or texts that I read, whether it is through visuals, whether it is through sound, whether it is through food, whether it is through relationships, whether it is through anything, my aim should be that I make sure that whatever I am doing is lifting my energy high. If that is my parameter, what would happen is the more I am filled with that good energy, the more I have that powerful positive energy, I would be shielding myself from all that which is not good. And when I am protected, when I am like the doctors who were supporting us during COVID, they had to shield themselves with all those things. Only then they were able to support us. So if I am protected, if I am having that shield, I'll be able to protect and serve people around me. And the last thing, which is very important, is that it is my nourishment. Why I am not happy is like why I'm starving, why I am depriving myself from the food that I should be having. What are the other types of food that I'm taking which is making me not feel good? It's very simple. Sometimes you will say, oh, I just had an extra pizza which I shouldn't have had. Maybe I had more spicy which I shouldn't have had. Or maybe I just ate at the wrong time when I shouldn't have had. So the answers are always there. It's just the courage to ask and look into, and then start a journey when there's an answer. And when I am able to ask these few questions and starts on this journey of constant high energy, then I'll be able to not just sustain my happiness, but also to serve people around me with my happiness. When I'm saying my happiness, it's not different from your happiness. Because it's like you understand what hunger is. I also understand what hunger is. You understand what thirst is. I also understand what thirst is. Why? Because these are things that unites us. Similarly, when I say my happiness, it's your happiness that I'm talking about. When you are saying about your happiness, I understand what you're talking about, because happiness, peace, joy, wisdom, purity, these are some virtues, values which unites us. These are the qualities of every being which are same. A poor knows what hunger is, a rich knows what a hunger is. Young, old, male, female, everybody understands these common phenomena. Similarly, what is happiness is something that we all know. The only thing we have to understand is how to use it for a larger audience, for a bigger audience. When my happiness is sustaining myself, it is very good. But if I am taking the next step of using that happiness, like as you were sharing, to bring it to others, it increases multifold times. So with my good wishes for you all, for you all, just look into how to multiply the happiness. And you will get many ways. And one of those ways is to reflect, meditate, and bring those moments of happiness in front. Be thankful for those moments and enjoy them for some time. And that energy will attract more similar energy. It's like a magnet. Yeah? Yeah? So let's do this. You can sit very relaxed. Try to put both your feet down, or if you want to sit cross-legged, whatever is easy for you. Take a deep breath and breathe out very gently. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out gently. As my breathing comes under my control, I can feel a change in my posture. I can feel a more relaxing energy in the body. Just like now, how I could manage my breathing like a sovereign king. I do have my powers to manage my thoughts. Manage my mind, my feelings. And so let me use this moment to create a beautiful space in my mind. This would be my space, my inner space. This space is very silent, very still, very quiet. This space is very safe. Decorate this space with your choices. You can make it as beautiful as you want, with whatever you would like to keep in this space. Your favorite flowers, your favorite paintings, your favorite things. Just make this inner space yours. And in this inner space, you also have a window from where you receive the powerful light of the eternal sun. The light from this source is very loving, very gentle, yet very powerful. Embrace this moment. Feel yourself in this beautiful cocoon of light, safe, comforted, loved, and light. This brings lightness in my heart. This brings energy of kindness in my heart. And brings a beautiful smile on my face. A smile that has the power to heal with my vibrations and my energy. I heal myself. I heal the world around. I heal the hearts of everyone I meet. And I leave my smile on them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shantanu, for the very wonderful talk. And thank you all of you to come and join us. You mentioned very deeper into the happiness that, how to sustain ourselves. So very, very interesting. And thank you for all the tools and tips given. Next week, same time, same place. And the topic is karma boomerang. Very interesting topic. Karma, spiritual boomerang, yeah. Same time, same place, and have a safe journey back home, everybody. Thank you.